This is not scary enough for me. I need to go home and watch Wilderness Whispers.
Lucao is a guy from Brazil who loves exploring abandoned buildings across the country. Most of the time, he brings a friend along to investigate these decaying places, sharing the history behind them, what they once were, and sometimes even the stories of why they ended up in ruins. In this particular video, they set out to explore an abandoned site near a forest on the edge of a city. But trust me, what they uncovered here is deeply unsettling and absolutely real.
E aí, como é que vocês estão, mano? Tudo beleza com vocês? Mano, o vídeo de hoje eu vou estar indo em busca de um lugar que eu já queria ter muito tempo já encontrado esse lugar, porém eu nunca encontrava porque eu não sabia a localização exata. Mas hoje eu recebi uma grande pista, uma mega pista sobre onde supostamente fica esse lugar e tudo leva a crer que realmente é ele, mas se não for, aí vai ser pernado perdido, mas eu vou estar saindo de casa daqui a pouco em busca desse lugar. E o que eu posso adiantar é que é um restaurante antigo. Que, meu amigo, pela foto o lugar é muito, muito, muito incrível mesmo. Assim, é um lugar antigo, porém eu não sei datas de construção. E também eu não sei o nome do lugar ainda. E também eu não sei quantos anos de abandono e nem quantos anos esse lugar tem. Mas é isso, então vou deixar de enrolação, vou deixar de ficar falando, vou partir, chama meu primo e a gente vai pegar rumo esse lugar. Agora vai queimar asfalto pra caramba, porque é longe, mano, é longe. Então já vai apoiando nós aí nessa mega aventura e vamos partir então.
When they arrived, they started searching for a way to get inside the location. The whole place was overgrown with vegetation, vines creeping over the walls, and thick brush blocking most of the entrances, making the task of getting in even more difficult.
Como é que desce ali, ó? Aqui, ó, tudo quebrado, queimado, ó. Ah, vai ter que descer aqui, ó, pra ir lá. Caraca, velho. Cuidado cair, hein, filho. Tô filmando você. Se você cair, é vídeo cacetada. Vai ficar paraplégico.
É que é brejeiro mesmo.
É brejo, né?
Mas dá pra tentar atravessar ali no mato.
Mas olha lá o final, ó.
Ah, o Luca.
O quê?
Ali sai no muro atrás do outro restaurante.
É mesmo?
E aqui você não passa aqui nem fudendo. Olha os bambus.
E onde tá
Onde que tá isso?
Caraca, mano, como é que nós vai chegar ali? Eu quero ver isso aqui, ó. Mano, nós tá meio perdidão, velho, porque não tem como entrar aqui no lugar. Deixa eu ver aqui. Eita, que susto, lagarto. Ó. Aqui, ó, tem as passarelas, ó. Eu ouvi falar sobre essas... Ih, caramba. Tem um baita de um poço aqui, velho.
They eventually managed to find their way inside and began exploring a bit.
Aí, filma eu aí. Pode ficar só olhando pra mim, ó.
Eu tô com medo de cobra aqui, ó. Vem louco, eu tô com medo de cobra.
Vou cair na água.
Não vai não, dá um pulão e vem. Aí.
Nossa, eu bati o pé na água.
Eu também bati. Nossa, olha que essa árvore.
Deixa eu aqui pra você aqui. Deixa eu pegar o holofote. Meu Deus. Cuidado aí, mano. Nossa, aqui meu pé aqui. Brilhando, tá.
But then, as they tried to make their way back outside and push through the thick vegetation toward another entrance, their exploration took a sudden turn.
Cadê? Nossa. E faz tempo, é uma máscara, só que tá com os dentes meio esquisitos. E aqui que tem... Ô, João, será que encarna aqui, mano? Aqui você sai... Aqui, ó. Nós pegar aqui pra você ver, ó. Nós sai lá na frente. Tem uma porta ali, ó.
Mano, o duro é pisar em cobra, hein, mano.
Não, o duro é esse chão, mano. Tá muito propício.
Então, escorpião, cobra.
Se for, vai ter que ir de uma vez, mano.
Então.
Quem vai? Quer que eu vou na frente?
Vai, quer que segura a câmera? Você vai moendo tudo?
Não, dá pra ir.
Vou ir atrás do cinto.
Nossa, esse tá rolando aqui, velho.
Ô, Luca, pode ter caseira aí.
Ô, tá cheio de roupa.
Entra de uma vez pra ver. Pede licença.
Licença. Eita, tem uma lona aqui, João. Tem uma lona aqui, mano.
Ô, Luca, pode ter caseira aí.
Ô, tá cheio de roupa.
Entra de uma vez pra ver. Pede licença.
Licença. João! Mano, olha aquilo ali, velho. Não, mano.
Tem um corpo.
Nossa, velho. Ai, meu coração, mano.
O que tem ali?
Ai, mano, meu coração, velho, tá batendo muito forte.
Sai daqui.
Ai, mano.
Eu vou sair daqui.
Não, olha ali, mano.
O que tem ali?
Olha ali, velho. Mano, olha aquilo, mano. É mentira. Ô, João, olha aquilo lá, velho. É mentira. Ô, João, olha aquilo lá, velho.
Ah, mentira.
Ô, João, pega aqui as coisas aqui. Espera eu, mano. Espera eu, velho. Nossa, mano. Nossa, mano. Nossa, velho. Ai, meu coração, mano. Vamos ligar pra polícia? Ai, meu Deus do céu, mano. Nossa, velho. Ô, nós achou um corpo no bagulho, tio. Nós achou um corpo, mano. Mano, eu tô...
Luca do céu.
Nossa, velho. Eu tô passando mal, mano. Eu tô passando mal, velho. Tô passando mal. Tô passando mal, mano. Tô passando mal de verdade. Mano, puta, velho. Nossa, eu tô passando mal, velho.
Viado, olha aqui.
Ô, eu tô passando muito mal, mano. Meu Deus do céu, velho. O corpo tem decomposição, cuzão.
Como que ninguém viu, ninguém sentiu cheiro nada?
Nossa, mano. Olha meu coração, viado. Ô, ele tá deitado em cima da cama, tiozão. Eu vi o corpo certinho, viado. Nossa, mano. Eu vou ligar, mano. Eu vou ligar, mas deixa eu me recompor. Mas o que eu falo, mano?
Hã?
Como é que eu vou ligar pra polícia? O que eu vou falar?
Fala que a gente veio no restaurante, foi ver um restaurante antigo, abandonado. A gente acabou achando um corpo dentro.
Um corpo, mano, no bagulho, tio. Ô, você viu também? Você viu?
Eu vi.
Mano, na hora que eu vi a sandália, eu falei, mentira que tem uma pessoa sentada. Eu falei, licença. Abri a porta assim, é um corpo, viado, deitado, ele tá com a mão na barriga assim, ó.
Tava passando mal, mano. É homem, né?
É homem. E pelo jeito é idoso, viado. E eu vi certinho os ossos na mão, tá bem decomposto assim, mano.
They called the police, and the officers checked to see if they were right. They got the body out, and it was confirmed to be a person.
A gente entrou, tem a lona e tudo, ó. Olha lá, eles estão passando ali ainda. Acharam.
E o cheiro, olha lá.
Vão entrar. Velho, não tem o que falar. Agora é só esperar o que eles vão fazer pra ver. Mano, faz mó cota que nós tá aqui esperando. Faz mais umas 2 horas já, por aí. Ô, era 10 e pouquinho que nós tava aqui, né? Agora é quase 2 horas da tarde. Faz muito tempo que nós tá aqui. E acabou de chegar o carro da perícia, mano. Já chegou até outra viatura aqui, ó. Mas ó, o carro da perícia tá parando aqui atrás, vamos ver. Chegou essa viatura, chegou ali a perícia científica. Tem aquela viatura grandona. A que tava aqui já saiu, que é a... Os dois policial que pegou o nosso nome.
Será que é aqui? Ah, não é aqui.
Os dois policial que chegou, que pegou o nosso nome, já foi embora. E já chegou a perícia, né? Esse cara que tá bem aqui nas costas, que é perícia e tudo. Agora vamos fazer a retirada.
Now, this adventure really took a crazy turn. To find a decomposed body in an abandoned building is something none of us would ever wish for. Lucao even came back with another video answering questions, and he made it clear that none of that was fake. It would have cost him a fortune to stage something like this. And honestly, I believe him. That was real police, real forensics, and real police cars on the scene. Hard to fake something like that. As for who that person was and why they died there, I have no further information. But looking at the clothes scattered outside and the tarp that seemed to be used as a makeshift door, it really gives me the impression it might have been a homeless person who sadly passed away there. Still, you never know. Could it have been something darker? A murder, maybe? What do you think? Did you notice any details that might point to something more sinister? Chrome is a man that 6 years ago was in a lot of debt and decided to start the van lifestyle just to get back on his feet. After 11 months, he managed to clear everything and started putting his life together for a better future. From a really tough spot to now living full-time in a jacked-up van, driving deep off-grid into the backcountry and living life in the dirt, he's truly a man that went through a lot and has the life experience to prove it, and his viewers see that. They love him for it. Anyway, in this particular video, he went camping with his cute bulldog in the mountains of British Columbia, but the night wasn't really as peaceful as he thought it would be.
It doesn't take long to tire a bulldog out. So I didn't film anything today. I worked on my laptop all day today. Been really busy with a lot of things going on right now. If you caught the last video, you guys will know that I'm working on some other stuff. And it's been really nice today to sit up here in this absolutely beautiful spot, peace and quiet, and just get piles of work done. It's been really, really awesome. Cruzy's been loving it. He's been inside and outside all day today, just sleeping. We've been running around throwing the ball. It's been great. Wow, what a night. This is pretty great. I should go throw the drone in the air if the batteries are charged. I got 2.5 bars of juice left on that.
The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
Oh, the blades are hitting.
But then the night fell, and this is when things started to get creepy. Strange sounds began echoing through the forest, and it really made the atmosphere feel unsettling.
What is that noise? You hear that? What the hell is that? Seriously, what the hell is that? It's moving, whatever it is. What the hell is that?
Well, I don't know what that was. A bird, an animal, maybe even Bigfoot. But it sure sounded creepy. Out there in the mountains, alone with just your dog, every little noise hits different. Fortunately, nothing happened to them, and the next morning greeted them with a beautiful sunrise. Still, they packed up and got out of there. What do you think it was? Let me know in the comments. And while you're there, just a quick reminder, we're so close to hitting 100,000. And it would mean the world to me if you'd hit that subscribe button. It's free, and you can always change your mind later. Sam is a guy who loves the outdoors, often going camping in different forests and even stealth camping in abandoned locations or areas where he probably shouldn't be. In this particular video, he's stealth camping in the woods near Cleveland, but this trip would turn out to be a bit spookier than usual. At the start of the video, Sam leaves his van in the parking lot and begins walking in search of a good spot to set up his tent. On the way, he stumbles upon a tent that's been shredded to pieces.
What do you know? This looks like a tent or a tarp. That kind of sketches me out. So that's the remains of a tent and a tarp. That means somebody's camped back here before. Now, it could have just been some young punks smoking dope. Or it could have been like an Asian Tony type character. Maybe Asian Tony himself. That kind of sketches me out. I don't like the vibe I got seeing that. That gives me a weird vibe. Super weird vibe.
If I were in his place, this is when I'd be running straight back to my van. An abandoned tent is usually a bad sign. It often means whoever was there left in a hurry, leaving everything behind. But Sam, he's brave. He continued his walk, found a spot, set up his tent, and decided to eat something. As night fell, he crawled into his tent, getting ready to sleep.
I'm not gonna lie, it's the perfect length for me. Perfect size. Nice and cozy. The ground is soaked, even with the ground cloth. No moisture came through. It's just what wicked in here before I put the fly on. It looks shorter than it is. I mean, I can... Oops, sorry. So we're gonna relax for a while. Thank all of you. Definitely happy with it. Very dry in here, considering that the fly was off for about 15 minutes, that I'm wet and whatnot. It's actually pretty well insulated too. Breathable, but the fly is nice and thick.
But then this happened.
There's somebody, hang on. I don't know if they can see it or not through the tent. I don't think so. I'm leaning right up against the light, but somebody's walking around out there very close to the tent. Somebody's out there. I don't know if they're coming this way or just walking around out there. I can't tell. Somebody's definitely walking around out there, though. Hang on. I don't want to leave the light on in case they can see in here. I think the fly is thick enough that they can't see the light, but still, I'm leaning right up against the lantern, so you can only just barely see my face. Hello? Hello? All right, I don't like this. Hello? Hello? They're touching my tent. Stop. They're right outside the tent. Hello? I'm in here. Hello? 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 All right, I'm getting the f*** out of here. Hello? Hello? I don't know what the f*** this is, but we're getting out of here. Hang on. Hello? Okay, they're walking away now. What do you want? What do you want? I have a knife. Where's my knife? They're f***ing with me. They're f***ing with me here. Holy crap, get away. What do you want? Hello, I can't see you. Hello. All right, I'm getting out of here. We're getting the hell out of here. Hello.
At this point, Sam hears someone walking away and quickly gets out of his tent to leave the spot. But then he sees the person a bit deeper in the woods, eerily watching him from the shadows.
They collapsed my tent on me. I don't know which way they went. think they went this way. I see you. Get away! All right, I'm spooked. I don't like this. Get my headlamp on and we're getting out of here right now. They're just standing there. They're just standing there. What do you want? Leave me alone! They went over that way. I can't see them now. I know you're there. I see you. They collapsed my tent on me and pulled the fly off while I was still in there. It smells like someone's smoking a cigarette too. I smell your cigarette. I smell your cigarette. All right, they're moving again. I don't know. I'm getting out of here. We're going. I'll come back for this some other time. All right, get the hell out of here. I'm leaving. Don't follow me.
At this point, he looks back at his tent and realizes the person is stealing from it. He decides to keep moving and not confront them. But then, when he glances back again, he sees that they've started chasing him.
They're at my campsite. I see them. I see you reflecting off my tent. Leave my shit alone! All right, I'm getting out of here. You can have it. How do I? Which way? Here. Okay. Ah. One of them's following me. One of them. Okay, here's the trail of some kind. Ah! 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 I just ate. I just ate. I'm soaked. I'm toast. Okay. Oh, they're coming. Leave me alone! Okay.
He left and decided to come back in the morning to check if his stuff was still there, only to find his tent completely destroyed. Now, we can't see the person responsible, but he assures us in the comments that this is 100% real and nothing was staged. And judging by his content and his lack of creepy videos, I believe him. Perhaps this explains the other destroyed tent he came across earlier. Maybe the same person had targeted it too. Who knows? Maybe there's someone who likes to mess with campers. If that's the case, let's hope no one ever encounters them with a weapon, because that would be a very different story. Let me know what you think in the comments and if you've ever had a similar experience. Kyle was alone in his house when he began hearing voices coming from the crawl space beneath him. At first, he dismissed them, thinking nothing could possibly be there. But over time, the voices grew louder and clearer until he became certain someone, or something, was living under his house. Determined to find out, he installed a small camera in the crawl space. The next morning, he checked the footage, and what he saw left him completely stunned.
I just saw the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. Watch this. That looks like a person. Sorta. I screenshotted part of it and like brightened the image and stuff. It looks so freaky. Is there a person under my crawl space? Is there some like hidden tunnel where they're getting access to it somehow without opening it? There's nothing else on the camera. There's nobody going in. I don't know what to think. How many yards of concrete do you think it'll take to fill in this whole daggone thing? Whatever's in there, we'll just encase it in concrete.
The same night he watched the footage, Kyle couldn't sleep, his mind racing with thoughts of who or what was hiding beneath the house. At 3 a.m., driven by a mix of fear and determination, he got out of bed and headed down into the crawl space, hoping to finally put his mind at ease.
I can't sleep. There's a security camera. I don't know what I saw. Happy hour saying it was a person, squatter, frogger, whatever y'all say it is. The other half are saying it's a demon, ghost, energy, apparition. I'd rather it be a person. I've got a solution for a person. I ain't going to sleep tonight. If it's a person, I've got a solution.
Nothing. For a while, he felt relieved. At least no one was living under the house. But a few days later, at 2 a.m., he heard the voices again, clear and unmistakable. Without wasting a second, he grabbed his flashlight and sprinted toward the crawl space, determined to catch whoever or whatever was there.
Just heard it again. I heard voices underneath the house. We're going. We're going. We're going in. We're going. Those voices, I heard voices. Oh my God, I'm so freaked out. Oh shit. What the? Oh God.
He caught a growl or something like that and bolted out of there. But now, was it really something down there? Look, that sound is scary, and I get why he acted that way if that's what he heard. To me, though, it almost sounds like the wind blowing in a pipe or something. But if I look back at that creature, it makes my hair rise. I don't know if there's a creature or a person down there, but I know what I would do. I would set the house on fire. Sorry, I meant I'd call the police. And honestly, I'd adopt some dogs, like 10 of them, and let them guard my house. What do you think? Do you think there's really someone living under his house? Harmon is a guy who dedicated his YouTube channel to moto adventures, always filming his rides and exploring interesting places. This time, he's riding through a forest when he suddenly realizes his phone is missing. Naturally, he decides to backtrack along his route to try and find it.
Катаюсь и понимаю, что у меня нигде телефона нету. Я давай сначала рюкзак искать по карману, а у меня его нигде нету. И понимаю, что я его по ходу с крепления где-то просрал его. Здесь я уже все обошел, здесь нету. Я хотя бы не ездил никуда далеко, но я бы его заметил, если бы уехал отсюда. Где-то тут я его потерял по-любому. Это типа мотокроссовая трасса заброшенная. И я по ней гонял, я еще в лес ездил. Но я надеюсь, что где-то здесь он выпал, потому что тут я его хотя бы увижу. Если где-то в лесу он выпал, то я его просто не... Он мог в кусты улететь. И как я его искать буду? Мне даже позвонить не с чего. До дома ехать вообще не вариант. Мне сейчас до гаража, потом на машине ехать, пилить до дома. У меня дом далеко от гаража. Я вернусь сюда, тут уже стемнеет. Мне не нравится, что там мужик прошел мне навстречу сейчас. А если я его где-то там на дороге выронил? Он мог его увидеть, поднять. Он где-то на дороге должен быть на середине прям валяться. Вряд ли бы он так отлетел, что аж на обочине бы оказался. Вот вполне вероятно, что там он и выпал. Я сейчас туда даже ехать не хочу снова. Я замучился там ехать. Я думаю, я лучше схожу туда пешком. Такие камни. Я и так тут еле ехал. Вон, это все я здесь протоптал коляской. След. А, наверное, вся правая сторона коляски уже в царапинах от этих веток. Где-то тут он по-любому. Тут самая жесткая дорога. Ни хера нету. О, тут я все ехал. Вот он след. Я ездил, вообще телефон ни разу не брал. Мне не нужен был. Обычно что-то камеру там проверяю, не знаю, карты открываю. А тут никуда, типа, по знакомым местам езжу. Я вообще им не пользовался.
Unable to find it, he decided to head back to the city and go to a friend's house to borrow a phone so he could call his lost one, making the search much easier. Night had fallen by then, but fortunately everything worked out in the end.
О, это походу от меня след. Я, кстати, вот с той стороне, получается, за вот этими деревьями, на той неделе катался и видел лису. А я где-то читал, что если лиса, вообще животное дикое, выходит к людям, то может быть, что у него бешенство. Но просто так они не выйдут. Я слышу его. Я слышу, но не пойму где, как будто в той стороне где-то. Не пойму. Я слышу звук, но не пойму, где он. Он просто рассеивается. Как будто прям передо мной. Не пойму. Вот он. Блин. Поцарапался, но нашел зато. 15%. Так он бы, может, и не пролежал бы, если я сейчас не поехал его искать. Он бы к завтрашнему дню сел. Я бы его вообще тогда не нашел. Еще рядом стоит эта трансформаторная вышка, и она трещит так громко.
He finally found his phone and was ready to head back home. But on the way, something really strange happened.
Прикинь, сейчас где-то по мне такой же лазит. Офигенного места нашел паутину делать. Ё-моё, это репейник, я думал, еще один паук на мне. Как его отлепить-то? Блин, прицепился, хрен оторвешь его. Мне теперь везде будут мерещиться эти пауки. Что это за херня была? Я сначала думал, что это собака какая-то здоровая. Потом понимаю, что это не собака, потому что она слишком толстая какая-то для собаки. Я еще слышу, что-то шарахается по кустам. Поворачиваюсь и сначала не пойму, что это такое. Он не двигался, стоял на месте. Что это за херня была?
Look, I don't know what that was, but it definitely looked absolutely creepy. From the side, it almost looked like a sloth just standing there. Even when it started moving, it kind of resembled one. But sloths move very, very slowly. At least that's what I learned from cartoons. Anyway, who knows what it really was, but the good thing is he didn't hesitate. He hit the throttle and disappeared, even though it didn't charge at him. Never wait around when you're unsure of what you're dealing with. Trust your gut and get out of there. That's it for today. If you enjoy these kinds of videos, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when we post. Also, leave a comment below sharing your favorite encounter. And if you have a story of your own that you'd like to have shared, send it to the email in the description. Don't forget to click on one of the videos on the screen to see more.